Welcome everyone. Hey, Mike King, the Hounds of Business, rolling together. How are you today, Mike King?
I'm doing good, rolling with the Hounds of Business. You are in the right place, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, Mike King, Mike Asherbrainer, the Hounds of Business. It doesn't get any better than this. Tuesdays, 2 p.m. in the East, we got business locked.
Oh man, it's fun. We go international, national, all over the place, man. Bringing Richmond some of the greatest, brightest men and women, heart centered, high level, high caliber professionals. And today, oh man, today they're in for a treat. No, like no other, man.
They're in for a treat, so everybody knows that I'm an Army man.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your service and your sacrifice, man.
Right, but the thing is, we got the Marines in the house today.
Oh yeah, yeah, and we won't spoil it. So let me get this done so these fine people on the radio and live they can hear this. Um, Hounds of Business, you know, high level, heart centered professionals, publicity hub. I mean, we're making things happen, man. We're making a lot of stuff happen. So whether you're a high level professional, running your own business, already doing great, or if you're just starting off, there's a place for you. Come as you are, build up, push each other up, get better. Um, you can find us on LinkedIn, Hounds of Business. You can find us on YouTube, Hounds of Business. Or for now, you can go to redneckfinancialcoach.com. There's a Hound of Business landing page. Hey, check it out. Amazing things happening here. And well, this is proof positive. So, how about we roll the intro? I get out the way and we bring on the one and only Sandra Gonzales.
Let's do it.
And
Are you looking to grow your business and your mindset alongside a fun and awesome pack? Grab a chair and your favorite beverage and join Mike Asherbrainer, the business mechanic, and his win-win network for the Hounds of Business Happy Hour.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to On the Mic with Mike King here, the Hounds of Business, Mike Asherbrainer. That was the man right there. He is the foundation, the thought leader behind the Hounds of Business. You're listening to ESPN Richmond 106.1. We are the talk leader business gurus here in the Richmond area, but we've stretched long and far. We went all the way across the country today. Everybody knows I'm an Army man, but what we did was we went out and got one of the finest out there. Sandra Gonzales, welcome to the program, ma'am.
So great to be here, Mike. Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure.
Always they say, Semper Fi, to all my Marine Corps brother and sister out there. Really quickly, so tell folks who you are and what you do.
So, who am I and what do I do? Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me here today. My name is Sandra Gonzales. I'm a retired Marine officer turned executive coach speaker. I had the honor, the distinction of serving 20 years of honorable service as a U.S. Marine. Now I guide and train high caliber entrepreneurs, veteran entrepreneurs, business executives, so they can take command of any room they step into and magnetize opportunities for impact and growth. And the way I help them do this is I help these high caliber leaders cultivate sexy confidence. And let me be straight about what sexy confidence is. Sexy confidence is a high performance state of mind. It's an attitude that enables you to master yourself so you can stay calm during stressful challenges and situations. I'm also a proud mom to two incredible women. My oldest served 5 years of service, Mike, as a U.S. Marine. She's now studying psychology in North Carolina. And my youngest is a junior here at UCSD in San Diego. So happy to be here.
All right, Sandra's here with us. Okay, ma'am. Young Sandra, what did you want to be when you grew up? And how did you get to the Corps?
What did I want to be when, I grew, what do I want to be when I grow up? What a question. Nobody's ever asked me that. I wanted to be, honestly, an architect, or I wanted to be in interior design. I've always loved, architecture, the aesthetics as it deals with interior design. I've always fallen in love with that. But that um, taught me a lesson that I'm very creative, and that you could take something, design it the way that it serves you, and you can bring anything into fruition. So I didn't go to the school of architecture like I wanted. I had a father who had sexy confidence. Um, you know, Pretty much, my father told me, he said, "Honey, you need to join the military. It's about serving your country." So it was my father who planted that little seed, if you will, Mike. And next thing you know, I was in the Marine Corps.
Okay, all right, ma'am. So anybody's ever joined the military, they go to the recruiter, they go to this, when they go to the Air Force, you go to the Army. What was it about was the Marine Corps the only recruiter that you talked to?
You know what, Mike? Yes, I was talking to somebody. I think it was yesterday or the day before. So it was my dad who said, "Mija, join the military," because I realized he always wanted to service this our country. And I went into Marine Corps recruiter's office, and it was game over, Mike. Automatically, I fell in love. Game over. No. I fell in love with the female Marine in her dress blues. And I knew instantly I want to be part of the few, the proud, the U.S. Marines.
You better believe it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, on the mic with my Sandra, that right there is a recruiting video. That's the way it is done. All the other services, we all are proud of ours, but we all sort of give a thing to the Marine Corps. I know when you saw the female Marine, top to bottom, that was the place for you. Okay, so you do your years, you learn the Marine Corps way, you learn the military way, you go out. What was it about being an entrepreneur that did it for you?
What was it about being an entrepreneur that did it for me?
Yes.
How so, Mike? If you could
Well, when
clarify.
you came out of the military, what did you want to do once you got out?
Oh, I see the question now. So, I was fortunate enough to experience things while I was in the Marine Corps. So, towards the latter part of my military career, um, I was, I was on the Home Shopping Network live promoting an international fitness model. I was part of her DVDs back in the day. So on this Home Shopping Network live in front of 2.5 million viewers, I had to give a testimonial. And it was then that I realized, Mike, I said, here I am promoting this incredible woman who's established her business, her brand. If she can do it, I can do it too. So the light bulb went off in that moment. And I realized, you know what? I want to be an entrepreneur as well. What does that mean? At the time, I didn't know. But this is why I highly encourage these high caliber leaders for them to listen to what's calling at them, not what's clawing at them. And I realized that we must step into uncertainty. Even though we don't have an answer, we must be willing to step into uncertainty.
How often are people ready to take that leap of faith to go into uncertain? Most people are scared of uncertain circumstances.
Absolutely. I'm one of the few, I think 1% female, military service women that join the military, much, and then the Marine Corps. So very few step up and decide to do that. I did it because, I had morals and values that were inculcated in me to serve my country, to step up, to step into uncertainty. No matter how scared I was, I did it scared. anyways. To this day, Mike, as an entrepreneur, I've learned that we must do it scared.
Okay, ma'am. Sandra Gonzales is here. Sexy confidence is what she's talking about. You're talking about walking into a room and owning your place in it. So, when you see leaders that are out there right now, what is it that's missing in a lot of people who are in the leadership space, or they're longing for something more?
Well, what I see with leaders, Mike, is they're not taking ownership of who they are and what they stand for. And once you understand this strong foundation, this is what's going to give you the clarity, the courage, the confidence to lead others with conviction. And in addition to that, the thing that's missing is authenticity. It's not easy being a leader. You sometimes you have to be vulnerable, you have to share your story. And this is one of the things that I guide and train high caliber entrepreneurs, veteran entrepreneurs, that it's about sharing your story. People want to connect with you as this person that's gone through adversity, because adversity is our advantage. And once you understand that, you can really step into this, into being who you are. And people again think that it's about perfectionism, that they have to constantly refine their skills. It's not about that. It's about really understanding who you are, what you stand for, and then communicating it in a way that connects with your target audience.
Alrighty, Sandra's here with us. How can people get information out there about you, ma'am?
Yes, so thank you for that, Mike. Well, if people want to connect with me, I do offer an assessment, 20 minutes full of value, to give them more clarity about where they are and what may be holding them back at the moment. And to get this assessment, they can go to my website, sandragonzales.com. And in addition to that, I'm actually hosting my third empowerment retreat / mastermind. This is specifically for veteran entrepreneurs. It's by veteran entrepreneurs for veteran entrepreneurs who want to connect in an intimate setting, and asks these successful entrepreneurs, veteran entrepreneurs, what they've done to reach the level of success that they have. And I'm excited for this empowerment / mastermind retreat, because it's where you genuinely authentically connect with others and walk away empowered.
One of my ESPN Richmond, the Hounds of Business. Sandra's here with us. We talked to the best and the brightest. We reached all the way out to California to bring her. And this is what we do. We bring in top talent. All right, Sandra, you're having your veterans retreat, and you speak to veterans all the time. Talk about, what is it with being in a military that's advantageous for a person to be, I'm going to go into business, I'm going to be successful.
Oh, ho, 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 ho. Well, yes, I tend to be biased, Mike, having served 20 years of honorable service, and my daughter, having served 5 years as a U.S. Marine as well. I tend to be biased when it comes to veteran entrepreneurs. But if anybody has it, it's these veteran entrepreneurs that have these skill sets. They have the discipline, they have the structure, the organizational skills, the resiliency to bounce back and move forward, and understand how to build their brand, how to build their business from idea to fruition, or into, that's how I started. This is how I came up with sexy confidence, was because of my trajectory. I had a father who had sexy confidence. I worked with an incredible General Mattis, who owned it, who had sexy confidence. And it was because of leaders like him that I realized, the world needs leaders like us now more than ever, Why? Because we have a disciplined approach. We have values we bring to the table. We're persistent. And, and this is again one of the many reasons why I love helping veteran entrepreneurs is because they already have the skill sets. They just need the sexy confidence to tweak a couple things. And next thing you know, they're off to the races.
You're off to the races. Sandra is here with us. Right quickly, when you put on that the Marine Corps uniform, had to be one of the proudest days of your life, right? It had to be a very big day.
It was, Mike.
Right. What was it like when you saw your daughter put it on? Now that's what I want to know.
Wow.
Hey, I haven't been there. It had to be something.
It was amazing, Mike. What a question. I never expected my daughters to follow in my trajectory, but my oldest decided to be a Marine, and seeing her in her uniform, standing at attention and communicating, "Thank you, Mom, for what you have done and what you've taught me has brought me to this point." That was everything. What a beautiful question.
You know
What
what?
a beautiful question.
Only people who get it who've been there. So when I go to the VA, I met my wife 43 years ago in the Army. We had one of the crazy military. Well, that's another. Military folks got crazy stories, but you go to the VA. It doesn't matter what branch. It doesn't matter what year. It's all the same. You knew that the person made that sacrifice, so that when you walk in, GI's kind of got like this sexy confidence thing going on. Because you know what, we've done it. All right, so Sandra's here with us. We got Mike Asherbrainer. We got the folks in the wings telling me, Mike King, we got to pull a plug for a moment. We got to put this on pause. Mike Asherbrainer, come on back. The Hounds of Business, ESPN Richmond.
Oh wow, I hate to interrupt this, man. This is amazing. I love it. It speaks to the heart and the caliber and all the things of the pack members, man. We're as long as we're attracting and retaining people like this, it's amazing, right? So courage before sexy confidence. That's our mantra, and that is daggum sure Sandra's. And I'm just impressed, man. She don't just talk the talk. She walks the walk daily. And it's easy to get wrapped up in our own stuff, but she has a heart for those less fortunate, and she definitely has a heart in action for our veterans, man. And there's nothing more important than that. Very few things are more important than helping those who served, sacrificed, their families sacrificed, and I just love what I'm hearing, man. So thank you for the opportunity. And uh, yeah, if you want to join the pack, you want to learn more, scan the QR code, find us on Hounds of Business, LinkedIn, find us on YouTube or redneckfinancialcoach.com. But this says it all about who we are, how we push each other up, and that's it. So if you're looking to join a network of winners like this and make some good things happen, make a big impact in the world, well, dadgummit, you come to the right place. So thank you both. And wow, I can't wait for the second half. I'm going to get on out of here, man.
All right, Mike Asherbrainer, thanks. The Hounds of Business. Sandra's back with us. All right, Sandra. So one of the great parts about having your own radio show is I get to talk to the best and the brightest people who are out there making a difference. What does an engagement with you look like when people bring you on board or they come to you? They show up at your doorstep. You know the question is going to come because you talk to enough leaders already. You know it's coming. You don't know whether it's right now or next week, but you know it's coming. What does an engagement like you with you look like?
Well, it all depends what they need at the moment. And this is where I guide leaders. So if they're interested in working with me one-on-one, this is where I offer an assessment, a 20-minute assessment to give them value, whether they decide to work with me or not. But in that assessment, to be honest, I'm checking to see, I ask questions to not only really get an understanding of what this leader needs and how I can help them spark momentum, but more importantly, does this leader genuinely have what it takes to work with me? Because I don't work with everybody. And one of the many things I look for is this heart-centered approach. I want to know that this person lives with integrity. I want to know that this person is in it for the right reasons. And when I find that out, once I give them value, Mike, then I invite them to another sales call. And in that sales call, I explain more about my group coaching, my one on one coaching, and my retreat.
There you go, Sandra's with us. Ma'am, a lot of times people, they may not be able to tell you what good leadership looks like or good culture, but man, we all can explain bad culture. Yeah, everyone to a T can tell you about bad culture. Talk about the place for, I don't care what you want to call it, karma, whether it is esprit de corps. Talk about what that means that a leader can inspire sexy confidence on an organization so that they can win.
Great question, Mike. Well, one of the things that I do share leaders with, that I share leader with leaders is people don't leave, jobs. People leave bosses. So, what are you doing to build this positive culture for people, to genuinely and authentically connect with them, to say, hey, Greg, hey, Jennifer or Maria, how's your day been? How's your family? So it's about authentic, genuine connection. And this is one of the many things I see leaders, they're not connecting in a genuine level, because connection builds trust. And when you have trust from your sphere of influence, those you lead, then oftentimes it creates this ripple effect. They're going to treat your clients, they're going to treat other people with the same genuine love, care, compassion, because you emulate it as such. You set the example. So again, it's developing as a leader. It's important to develop the self-awareness and understand, how am I showing up today? Am I positively, am I, first of all, one of the things we must do first is lead ourselves first before we lead others. And in doing so, it's developing the self-awareness about being conscious, about being present, how we show up every single day. Because when you understand how to generate energy, how to have this positive attitude, your attitude will determine your altitude. And it just creates this beautiful positive effect, and everybody benefits from this.
All right, Sandra's here with us, ma'am. You talk to a lot of leaders. Let's talk about that real quick conversation when you talk to men about sexy confidence. All righty, ma'am. The platform is yours really quickly.
What was that, Mike? When I talk to
Sexy,
me?
sexy confidence in a man.
Yeah.
How do you have that conversation?
Ooh. Well, right now, specifically, I'm coaching men. I mean, I coach both men and women, but men need to they need to cultivate sexy confidence, which is, again, this ability to master ourselves and stay calm during stressful challenges and situations. And how does it equate to, or how does this look like in a male leader, right? Well, male leaders, men, need to learn when to be vulnerable. Men leaders need to know when to put their ego in check. And this is for females as well, because I have learned that our ego is not our amigo. And if your ego is driving, your business, your organization, we need to put our ego in check, take a step back and look at our situation from a different perspective. And this is where I guide and train them. And I sometimes we need a healthy dose of self-compassion, because if you can't give yourself self-compassion, then chances are you're not going to be able to give another human being the self-compassion they need when they need it the most.
There you go. That's Sanders dropping nuggets of knowledge on us. Well, Mike Ashebrainer's coming back with the Hounds of Business. He has the getaway questions. See, Sandra, what I do is I leave the hard questions to the guy with the camo hat. He's there. He is just there with the getaway question, which is the money question. There you go, sir.
Hey, am I the only one that thinks of Austin Powers when he lost his mojo? When I hear the sexy confidence, right? Oh man, we got to have a part two. This is too much. This is too much
This
fun.
this,
Wow.
this
All
is
right.
something right here.
Yeah, I'm telling you, we could have part six. We got to plan this. All right. So here's the signature question, right? And this I'll ask both of y'all. So there's a little Sandra out there, little Mike, little camo hat, little Mike King. And they maybe something or maybe just from childhood, whatever, has rocked their confidence a little bit, right? They don't feel like themselves. Right? What's your best advice or experience of yours that they can take that first baby step towards that sexy confidence, even though they feel like they're so far away?
Yes, and I can give that example, to be honest, about when I needed, that self compassion. I went through a difficult, divorce after being married for 15 years. In the midst of that, I found my father unconscious. Talk about, I'm like, man, what else can go wrong, right? But it was my father's demise that really rocked me at my core. And I realized in that moment that something within Sandra needed to shift if she wanted to see a different reality. And in order to experience a different reality, I had to change my personality. I had to learn how to forgive Sandra for not saving her dad. After finding my father unconscious, I had to forgive Sandra, and in showing her, that you did the best you could with what you had, Sandra. That marriage just, it ended abruptly, not the way I would have wanted it, but it ended. And that's where I had to learn to not only forgive myself, but my ex-husband, because some things you'll never will go unexplained, and you just wish people the best. And that's where we have to learn to shift our perspective and see things differently. And I realized, you know what? I want to experience a different reality. What needs to change? I need to be a better leader. I need to change my personality. And so, for the leaders out there, for the men and women that are watching and listening, what in you needs to change at this moment so you can step into the best version of yourself? What do you want to see?
Ladies
Wow.
and gentlemen, it don't get any better than that. My answer to Mike Asherbrainer, a lot of times it's not what, it's who. When you surround yourself with people like these two, ladies and gentlemen, it is a winning situation. Mike Asherbrainer, Sandra Gonzales, we'd like to thank you guys for being on. It is the Hounds of Business. This is Mike Asherbrainer's baby right here. We'll be listening to it on ESPN. Richard Mike King. We got to take off now. You guys got stuff to do. Get with Sandra. Get to the master class. I'm trying to get my little sexy back. So when I walk into a room, there's music playing. Hey, they might even have Justin Timberlake when I walk in. They're like getting sexy back.
That's
But
true.
it
Well,
is.
they put you on the jumbotron, man. I've seen how much they love you. You got sexy confidence. You can bottle it up and sell it if you wanted to, man.
But you
King.
know what?
Let's
I
talk
need
about
them
it.
platform skills like Sandra. All right, folks, we got to go. Take care. Semper Fidelis, madam. Take care.
Thank y'all for stopping by. Be sure to follow, share, and like, and send me a message if you had fun today. Y'all come back now.